Hello, my name is Annie Chafing, and I work in the Division of Early Learning at the Office of the State Superintendent of Education. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we will be reviewing the new education requirements for child development staff, and I'll tell you about different programs and resources that are available for early childhood educators in DC. Here is an agenda for our time together today. First, I will do an introduction to the new minimum education requirements. We'll then do a quick overview of the programs and resources I will be sharing with you. We will talk about the education requirements for each position and the local programs that are available to help you meet those new requirements. Next, we will go into financial aid resources that are available for people pursuing a college education. We'll talk a little bit about the process for applying to post-secondary programs, and we will also introduce you to the different OSSE resources we have developed to support child development staff in obtaining the new minimum education requirements. Finally, we will review the waivers that are available for teachers and center directors who have been in the field for 10 years or more. Let's begin. First, an introduction to the new education requirements. I like to start by explaining the rationale for the new minimum education requirements. First, we know that the early years are a critical period of development for young children. In fact, over 1 million new neural connections are formed every second in the first few years of life. Even infants are sensitive to teaching cues and can recognize when an adult is teaching them. Additionally, recent research demonstrates that higher education for teachers means higher quality classrooms for students, leading to richer language environments and better teacher-child interactions. We know that you're working with children at a very important time in their growth and development, and we want to make sure you have the tools you need to make the most of your time with them. The new regulations were adopted in 2016. If you are interested in reading the full text, you can go to this website. If you have any questions about the new licensing regulations, you can contact our Licensing and Compliance Unit. Here is an overview of the new staff education requirements and current timelines. There have been proposed timeline changes, and I'll highlight those for you as well. The proposals are not yet final, but are in process. Home caregivers, associate caregivers, and assistant teachers are required to have a Child Development Associate Credential, or CDA, by December 2018. The new timeline proposal for this requirement is December 2019. Expanded home caregivers and teachers are required to have an Associate of the Arts degree in early childhood education, or an associate's degree in a different area with at least 24 semester credit hours in early childhood education, which is about 8 college classes. Expanded home caregivers have until December 2019, while teachers have until December 2020. The proposed new timeline for both of these positions is December 2023. Finally, center directors must have a bachelor's degree in early childhood education or a bachelor's degree in a different area with at least 15 semester credit hours in early childhood education, which is about 5 college classes. Center directors have until December 2022, and there is no proposed timeline change for center directors. This slide is to help frame your thinking as we go through the presentation today. If you are an assistant teacher who needs a CDA credential, or if you are a teacher or center director who needs to earn a college degree, the first question to ask yourself is whether you feel prepared to earn a credential or to go to college. It may have been a while since you received a GED or graduated from high school, and perhaps there was a subject area that was more challenging for you, like math, reading, or writing. If so, you will want to think about how to prepare yourself to enter college-level courses, and I'll give you some resources for that today. Next, do you know where you want to attend and when? You're all busy working adults, so you'll want to think about what classes fit best into your schedule and consider when you want to start the program. As an adult learner, you have some flexibility. You can start in the fall semester, spring semester, or summer semester, whenever works best for you and your schedule. Finally, how will you pay for your credential or college investment? I know this is a big question for a lot of people, and there are great resources available for early childhood educators in DC. I'll review those with you today. First, I'll take some time to review the education requirements for each role and the local programs available. Let's start with preparation. If you are someone who needs to get your CDA, associate degree, or bachelor's degree, you need to have your GED or high school diploma first. If you don't yet have your GED, or if you want to brush up on your core academic skills, such as math, reading, or writing, these are some of the organizations that can help you do that. These organizations are for DC residents. Academy of Hope and Community College Prep are both adult public charter schools that can help you get your GED or work on your core academic skills. Educational Opportunity Center is a great one-stop shop for adults looking to go back to school. They can help you plan your path and have workshops available on college preparation for adults. If you are a Maryland or Virginia resident, call your local community college. They usually have core academic courses available for free or little cost to residents. Assistant teachers, home caregivers, and associate home caregivers need to earn their Child Development Associate Credential, or CDA. The current timeline for assistant teachers is December 2018, and the new timeline proposal for this requirement is December 2019. Earning a CDA requires 120 hours of professional education in early childhood development and 480 hours of work experience in early childhood education. You also need to create a professional portfolio, gather feedback from families, and schedule an observation from a designated PD specialist that demonstrates effective practice. You will also take a CDA exam. The CDA credential needs to be renewed every 3 years, and the process is fairly straightforward. To renew, you need 45 hours of professional education in early childhood development, current first aid and CPR trainings, a minimum of 80 hours working with young children, an early childhood education reviewer recommendation, and membership in a national or local early childhood professional organization. If you fail to renew your CDA after 3 years, you have to go through the entire initial CDA process all over again. So it's very important that once you earn your CDA, you stay on top of it and renew it every 3 years. This slide provides information on CDA programs in DC. The University of the District of Columbia Community College has a workforce development program through which DC residents can earn their CDA for free. Southeast Children's Fund and Centronia are both OSSE grantees, so they have scholarships available for those earning their initial CDA and renewing their CDA. Brea Public Charter School also has a CDA program. Finally, classes for the CDA are also available on Quorum, which is our online professional development system. OSSE purchased licenses for child development staff to access Quorum, and you can earn all 120 hours of professional education for your CDA through this platform. If you do this, you will still need to complete the rest of the CDA process. You can reach out to Southeast Children's Fund or Centronia for assistance once you complete your 120 hours on Quorum. There is a Quorum CDA guidebook available at osse.dc.gov/ECE resources, a website resource that I'll tell you more about later in the presentation. Expanded home caregivers and center-based teachers will be required to have an associate's degree in early childhood education or an associate's degree in another subject area with at least 24 semester credit hours in early childhood education, which is about 8 college classes. The proposed new timeline for both positions is December 2023. Here is a list of various local associate degree programs in early childhood education. I will give you more details about a few of these programs when I discuss financial aid resources in the coming slides. This is not an exhaustive list, nor are any of these programs endorsed by OSSE. For example, there are also online associate degree programs in early childhood education. Just be sure that any college or university you attend is accredited. Center directors are required to have a bachelor's degree in early childhood education or a bachelor's degree in another subject with at least 15 semester credit hours in early childhood education, which is about 5 college classes. Here is a list of some of the universities in the area that have bachelor degree programs in early childhood education. Now I'll review financial aid resources. The first step to apply for financial aid is to complete the FAFSA, or Free Application for Federal Student Aid. You will need your federal tax information in order to complete the application, and it can take around 30 minutes to an hour to complete. FAFSA can help you access a Pell Grant, which you do not have to pay back, as well as subsidized student loans, which you would need to pay back. The FAFSA also helps demonstrate your financial need for scholarships. Go to studentaid.ed.gov to learn more and to apply. The next 2 resources I'll tell you about are specifically for early childhood educators in DC. You are eligible for these services even if you live in Maryland or Virginia. The first is the Higher Education Incentive. Through this program, you are eligible for full tuition at either University of the District of Columbia Community College or Trinity Washington University, as long as you're enrolled in an associate or bachelor's degree program in early childhood education and currently employed by a licensed child development facility in DC. You can find contact information for each of these programs on this slide. The next program I would like to tell you about is TEACH, Teacher Education and Compensation Helps. TEACH is different than the Higher Education Incentive because it includes wraparound services to help you complete your degree, including a general stipend for travel or childcare, paid release time to study or go to class, and bonuses along the way. TEACH is a partnership with your employer. You pay 5% of your tuition, your employer pays 5%, and TEACH pays the rest. Your employer agrees to give you a bonus or a raise once you finish your degree, and you agree to stay with the center for a year after you finish the program. You can find out more about TEACH and the application process at teach.nbcdi.org. This is a list of institutions that partner with TEACH. I have noted the schools which have some classes available online. None of these programs are completely online, but if you would like the flexibility of online classes, you may want to look into the programs labeled here with check marks. The next 3 programs I will discuss are only for DC residents. The first is DC TAG, which is for people 26 years or younger earning their first undergraduate degree. You can be eligible for $2,500 per academic year towards tuition to private colleges and universities in the DC area, or up to $10,000 per academic year toward the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition at public institutions. Go to osse.dc.gov/DCTAG for more information. DC Mayor Scholars Undergraduate Program is another scholarship for DC residents, but there is no age limit. If you are a DC resident earning your first undergraduate degree, you can be eligible for up to $4,000 each academic year towards your tuition. Funds are first come, first serve, and you do need to maintain a minimum GPA of 2.0. Find out more at osse.dc.gov/mayorsscholars. Finally, I'd like to tell you about the DC Tuition Assistance Program initiative for TANF. TANF stands for Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. If you are a current TANF recipient, or if you are eligible for TANF, you can receive up to $4,000 per academic year towards your tuition. For more information, call or email Elizabeth Saunders, whose contact information is listed here. Again, this program is only for DC residents. I've reviewed a lot of information with you, so now we're going to pull it all together with a quick conversation about how to apply for college. First, research available programs in the area. Look at their webpage, call the program coordinator, or speak to current students. Second, make a timeline. When can you take classes? How many classes can you handle at once? When would you like to start, and how long will it take you to finish the program? Third, gather your school paperwork, such as your GED or high school or college transcripts. Next, gather financial paperwork, including your tax return, and complete the FAFSA, as well as other scholarship applications. Next, you'll complete your application to the school you'd like to attend, and then check your mail and email. Your college may reach out to you with next steps, so it's important to follow up on any mail or email you receive. Finally, some colleges will have you complete a placement test, such as the AccuPlacer. This helps determine if you are ready for college-level courses or if more preparation is necessary. If so, you can take preparation classes at the public charter schools I mentioned earlier, or at your local community college. We know going back to school can be daunting, so OSSE has developed many resources to support you. One of these resources is our college fair. The fairs are a great opportunity to meet representatives from community-based pre-college support resources, colleges, and scholarship programs. Some of the examples of organizations available at the fair are listed here. OSSE staff members are also available for one-on-one consultation to answer any specific questions you might have. We have already hosted a couple of college fairs, and we've gotten great feedback. We have 2 more coming up around the city in 2018, and we'd love to see you there. Please mark your calendars and come out to join us. We also have a website resource at osse.dc.gov/ECE resources. The landing page looks like this. Simply click on your position to find resources and programs to help you meet the education requirement for your role. Also, the Quorum CDA Guidebook is available on this page, which is helpful if you are earning the 120 professional development hours for your CDA via Quorum. For the purposes of this presentation, I will show you what the website looks like when you click on Teacher. First, you will see a list of local associate degree programs at the top. When you go to this webpage, you can click on the links to be taken directly to each program's website. Again, this is not representative of all associate degree programs in early childhood education, such as online degrees, but feel free to research other options. Just be sure they're accredited. If you scroll further down the webpage, you'll find more information and links to the various scholarship resources available. Again, you can click on the blue links to be taken directly to the program's webpage, if applicable. Finally, at the bottom of the page, you will see planning guides available for download, which we have created for a variety of different scenarios. Download the one that most closely matches your situation. For example, let's click the planning guide for a teacher with a high school diploma or GED. The planning guide will help you to take the first steps to getting your credential or degree, tailored to your current education level. It walks you through the necessary steps and can help you keep track of what you have done so far. This is the top of the planning guide. And the bottom of the planning guide looks like this. You can see that it is essentially a personalized to-do list to help you keep track of the steps to apply to college and scholarships. If you run into any issues while applying to school or scholarships, or if you have general questions about the minimum education requirements, the Early Childhood Education Help Desk is here to help. Give us a call or send us an email at any time. The phone is staffed throughout regular business hours, and if you do miss us, we'll return your call within 24 hours. Finally, I'll give a brief overview of the waiver. The language on this slide comes straight from the regulations, but I will give you more specifics. There is a 10-year continuous service waiver available for teachers or center directors who have been in their position for 10 years or more. This is the waiver application process. The facility director submits a waiver application on behalf of any employees. You will need to provide at least 2 documents to support your waiver application, such as a professional resume, a letter from previous employers that attest to your experience, or professional development certificates that correspond with your dates of service. For more information, go to osse.dc.gov/ECE resources and click on Request for Waiver. You can apply for a waiver prior to the deadline. And that's all the information I had for you today. My contact information is listed on this slide if you'd like to reach out with any questions or concerns. I'm also happy to deliver this presentation at your center. Please feel free to reach out, and thank you for your time.